Let me ask you a question that might feel uncomfortable. Have you ever been sitting there, in a perfectly safe room, doing absolutely nothing, and suddenly you feel off? It isn't a sharp pain. It isn't a specific tragedy. It is something more insidious. You aren't necessarily sad, and you aren't angry. You just feel empty. A hollow static in the background of your mind. You reach for your phone to scroll, but it doesn't help. You put on music, but the melody feels flat. You try to watch a motivational video, expecting a spark, but the words just bounce off you. You are stuck in a gray zone of existence, and inevitably, the thought creeps in. Why can't I just feel happy for no reason? What is wrong with me? We are taught that to fix this feeling, we need to fix our lives. We need a better job, a better relationship, But what if I told you that the solution isn't outside of you? What if the off feeling is just a biological switch that is stuck in the wrong position? The shocking reality is that your brain is capable of switching into a happier, more regulated state in as little as 15 seconds. And the best part? You can do this without solving a single one of your life's problems today. You can do it without positive thinking or affirmations. You can do it without forcing yourself to feel motivated when you are exhausted. This is not about psychology. This is about mechanics. It is about operating the machine of your mind correctly. Today, I am going to walk you through 3 specific, science-backed brain tricks that instantly lift your mood. These are not abstract concepts. They are physiological overrides, but I need you to pay close attention. The first 2 tricks are essential for stabilization, but the third trick is the most powerful. If you miss the third one, you will miss the secret to changing how your brain reacts to stress forever. So, do not skip ahead. Stay with me until the very end. To understand why these tricks work, we first need to dismantle a myth you have believed your entire life. Let's start with a story. Imagine 2 people. Let's call them Subject A and Subject B. They both wake up and experience the exact same bad day, the same traffic jam, the same rude email from a boss, the same financial stress. The external data is identical. Yet, Subject A goes home and feels miserable all night. They spiral into anxiety. They replayed the arguments in the shower. They are trapped. Subject B, however, shakes it off. They cook dinner, they laugh, they feel okay. What is the variable here? The difference isn't their life. The difference isn't their bank account. It is how their brain reacted in the first few seconds of the stressor. You see, your brain is not designed to make you happy. That is a hard pill to swallow. But it is the truth. Your brain is designed to keep you alive. It is an ancient survival engine designed to react fast to threats. Happiness is a luxury. Survival is a necessity. So, by default, your brain leans toward fear, conservation, and negativity. But once you understand how that reaction mechanism works, you can interrupt it almost instantly. You can manually override the factory settings. That is where these 3 tricks come in. They are the manual override codes for your nervous system. Let's jump into the first one. Trick number 1, the face feedback switch. This is based on a biological reality that most people completely ignore. We tend to think that the brain is the general and the body is the soldier. The brain gives orders, and the body obeys. We think, I feel happy inside, so I smile outside. But neuroscience shows us that the communication line is actually a 2-way street. Your brain doesn't just create emotions. It constantly listens to your body to decide how you should feel. Your face is one of the brain's biggest sources of information. It is packed with nerves that send constant feedback to the amygdala and the emotional centers of your mind. If your face is tense, your brain assumes there is a threat. But we can hack this loop right now, wherever you are sitting. I want you to do this with me. Stop what you are doing. Notice the tension in your forehead. Gently raise your eyebrows to release it. Now, move down to your jaw. Is it clenched? Relax your jaw. Let your tongue fall from the roof of your mouth. And now, the most critical step. Let the corners of your mouth lift just a little. I am not asking for a fake, manic grin. I am not asking for a big smile. Just a soft, upward tilt, a subtle signal. Now, Hold this posture. Do not let it drop. Hold it for 15 seconds. While you are holding this, here is what is happening biologically. Your facial muscles are compressing specific veins that alter blood flow to the brain, cooling the blood. But more importantly, you are sending a signal up the vagus nerve. That signal tells your brain, "Oh, look at the face. We are relaxed. We are smiling. We must be safe." It creates a cognitive dissonance. Your brain cannot hold the belief, "I am in danger," while the body says, "I am safe." And when your brain thinks you are safe, it automatically reduces stress chemicals like cortisol and creates a micro boost of feel-good neurotransmitters. You didn't force happiness mentally. You signaled it physically. This works even if your mood was terrible just seconds ago. Why? Because your brain reacts to physical cues faster than it reacts to thoughts. Thoughts are slow. The body is immediate. That is why this trick works almost instantly. The mistake everyone makes is waiting. They wait to feel happy before they change their body. They slump in their chair, frown at their screen, and wait for inspiration. That is backwards. Change the signal first. The emotion follows. Now you have stabilized the body. You have told the biological machine that it is safe. But we still have a problem. The mind. What if your brain won't stop thinking? You know the feeling. The body is relaxed, but the mind is racing. You are replaying problems from yesterday, or you are jumping into the future with anxiety about things that haven't happened yet. This brings us to trick number 2. The name IT to Tame, IT reset. This technique creates a firewall between you and your spiraling thoughts. To understand this, you need to know that your brain has 2 main modes of operation regarding emotion: the experiencing mode limbic system and the processing mode prefrontal cortex. When emotions spike, your brain jumps into experiencing reacting mode. You become the anger. You become the sadness. You lose perspective because you are drowning in the chemical flood. Here is the shortcut to break that flood. The moment you feel stressed, anxious, or low, stop. Say this phrase silently. To yourself or even better. Say it out loud. I am feeling stressed. Or, I am feeling overwhelmed. I am feeling irritated. That's it. Just name it. Do not analyze why you feel it. Do not try to fix it. Just label Italiano. This sounds too simple to work, but the neuroscience is fascinating. The moment you label an emotion, you force your brain to communicate between the amygdala, the alarm bell, and the prefrontal cortex, the logic center. You shift control from the emotional centers to the logical centers. It is like flipping a switch. By putting a word to the feeling, you detach from it. Instead of being the emotion, you become the observer of the emotion. That subtle shift in perspective reduces the intensity of the emotion in seconds. Think of it like this. If a storm is happening, and you are standing outside, you are soaked, you are cold, you are miserable. But once you name it, it is like stepping inside a house and looking out the window. You see the storm. You acknowledge the rain, but you are no longer drowning in it. Same storm, different experience. Your brain cannot fully panic and fully label at the same time. It's a cognitive bottleneck. Labeling interrupts the loop. You don't need to calm down. You just need 1 sentence to regain the wheel. Now, pause and imagine the power of combining these first 2 tricks. Your face sends a signal that says, I'm safe. Your mind sends a signal that says, I see what's happening. That is an incredibly powerful state of regulation. You have stopped the bleeding. You are stable. But we are not done. Stabilization is not happiness. We want to feel good. That is why the 3rd trick is different. It doesn't just stop stress. It changes how your brain releases happiness chemicals. This is the one you do not want to miss. Most people chase happiness the wrong way. They treat it like a reward. They wait for good news. They wait for motivation to strike like lightning. They wait for life to improve. But biologically, your brain doesn't release happiness after you succeed. It releases it during progress. The neurochemical of satisfaction, dopamine, is a fuel for action. Not just a prize for finishing. Once you learn how to trigger that fuel manually, you can feel better almost instantly. The micro-win dopamine hit. This is the most important tool in your arsenal. If you miss this, you miss the fastest happiness trigger your brain has. Here is the protocol. Your brain releases dopamine when you complete tiny actions, not big goals. Tiny actions. Right now, I want you to pick one small action that takes less than 15 seconds. Straighten your posture. Take one deep, slow breath. Drink a sip of water. Close a browser tab. Check off one tiny task on a piece of paper. Do it. Now, that's Italiano. It seems trivial, but here is what just happened inside your skull. Your brain detected progress. And to the human brain, progress equals dopamine. That tiny hit of dopamine doesn't just make you feel good for a second. It increases motivation, it sharpens focus, and it boosts optimism. It primes the pump for the next action. This is why starting is always the hardest part. The law of inertia applies to your mind. But once you start, your brain helps you continue. Most people live their lives backwards. They wait to feel motivated before they act. But the biological reality is, action comes first. Motivation follows. You have to move to generate the energy to move. This trick is powerful because it works anytime, anywhere. Bad mood. Execute a micro-win. Low energy. Micro-win. Feeling stuck in a creative rut. Micro-win. You do not need big changes to shift your state. You just need movement. Small, calculated, deliberate movement, and your brain will reward you immediately. Now, let's put it all together. Imagine you are having a rough moment. You feel that emptiness we talked about at the start. Instead of spiraling, you run the protocol. You soften your face. You lift the corners of your mouth. You signal safety. Step 2. You name the emotion. I am feeling stuck. You become the observer. You create one tiny win. You stand up. You drink water. You send a text. In under a minute, your entire nervous system shifts. The external world hasn't changed yet. The traffic is still there. The problems are still there. But you have changed, not because life changed, but because your brain chemistry did. That is real control. The more you use these tricks, the faster your brain responds. These aren't just habits you need to build over years. They are switches you can flip right now. And once you know where the switches are, you are never stuck in a bad state for long. You become the master of your own machine. Let's wrap this up with the truth most people never learn. Happiness isn't something you find out there. It isn't waiting for you in the future. It is something you activate right here. Your brain already has everything it needs. You just learned how to signal safety in seconds. You learned how to stop emotional spirals instantly. You learned how to trigger happiness chemicals on demand. After watching this video, you have the tools to take control of your mood in 15 seconds or less. No more waiting. No more forcing. Just simple brain science working for you. The next time you feel off, overwhelmed, or stuck, don't panic. Don't look for a life raft. Look inward. You know exactly what to do. Because happiness isn't far away. It is just one small switch away. Click the subscribe button for more systems to master your mind. I'll see you in the next one. Speak.